I'm Patric Cunnane. I'm going to kick off proceedings with some poems from my current collection, Looking for Eden. Okay, my family come from the west of Ireland, and this poem is called The Lost Child. And in my father's generation, it wasn't unusual for children not to survive childhood. So myself, Patrick, and my brother Kevin were named after two uncles who didn't survive infancy. So this is The Lost Child. I was named after a dead child, born in the long ago west of Ireland, in the mountainy land where soft rain washes pebbles to sea, where the Atlantic holds hands with the Holy Ghost. There are no images from that time of the infant gurgling in his mother's arms, gazing up at his father, cradled in their love and the landscape. No images of the treasured child that never grew to meet his nephew, to learn his 10 times table, to read and write, make crayons dance, to take turkeys and butter to market, to raise a pint in Colorans, to set out from Tubbercurry into the world. God bless you, Patrick. I wear your name with pride. I hope I am living enough for the both of us. When I get to heaven, take me to one side. Tell me the dreams I should have realised, the world I should have built in your honour. Fair enough for a blessed infant to grow and have children of his own. You live in my heart, Patrick. I leave the door ajar so you can step inside for warmth, and we can raise a glass to twin souls in a holy communion across the years. Thank you. Staying with the Celtic fringe, but moving to north of the border to Scotland. This is the title poem of the collection, Looking for Eden, and it's really dedicated to my long-standing Glasgow friend Andy and the many adventures we have had in that wonderful country. Let's take a last look at Eden, you said, your deep Glasgow burr causing the phone to rumble in my paw. I knew what you meant. The wild what have you of Campbelltown, the Isle of Arran, rainy Wick, where drinkers stand at the bar and a dog munches on crisps, an 80 shilling and a groose gleaming in the one bulb light. That's Eden, all right. Remember, you said, my fine poet of a posh Glasgow suburb with its golf club on a hill. Remember, you'll live long on a diet of curry, whiskey and cigarettes. It was sound advice, in the sense of I like the sound of it rather than anything else. Moving to warmer climes now, to Cuba in fact, where I've been a few occasions. I was in Guadalajara market once, and there was a number of painters exhibiting their work there for sale, usually painted on recycled materials, and I bought a beautiful little painting for about 5 pesos from a painter called Ovidia Penna, so I feel I owe him a poem. Ovidia the painter. It's all from my imagination, says this gentle smiling man, showing his canvases, pastels on recycled paper, oils on lino offcuts. We see what he means. Elsewhere, the painters duplicate 50s American cars, behatted guitar players, sultry ladies, palm-fringed beach scenes. I select a picture, oil on floor covering, a vulture with a female body, rich daubs of green and blue and burgundy perched threateningly on a branch. Painstakingly he signs it bottom left, in the neat script of a master. For 5 pesos I have an original Ovidia Penna, all from his imagination. I imagine him in his shack somewhere, crowded with paper, offcuts and paint, children, a wife and chickens, a dog scratching at his heel, endeavouring to find a space to create art. These butterflies, abstracts, masks, expressions of the spirit of a people. If I close my eyes now, I am back in that market. I can see the painting spread out on a table, all the colours radiant, iridescent, under a Cuban palm-fringed sun. Of course, whenever I think of Cuba, I become slightly revolutionary in spirit, at least. And I was thinking today, one of the Miami 5 has been released, so I'm going to have to get my T-shirt altered. But this is called An Old Revolutionary Never Dies. I no longer man the barricades, but I haven't lost the way. Instead, I allow a garment to vent my discontent. I wear Che Guevara underpants to the office every day. They're inside my trousers now. Doesn't mean that's where they'll stay. Like revolutionary hearts waiting to be awoken, my Che Guevara pants are far more than a token. They'll become a flag of freedom when the walls come tumbling down. I'll fly them from the boss's door when we gun him down at dawn. Then line up all the jokers who wear comedy ties to work. That revisionist Mickey Mouse was always such a jerk. Under Che Guevara underpants, we'll sing the people's flag and hum the Internationale as we march the old main drag. We'll kick out all the suits, we'll liberate the loot, we'll unlock the vaults and legalize a toot. So quietly flows the vanguard, you won't see us sneaking up until our boot breaks down the door and we raise the triumphal cup. Us revolutionaries never go away. Like the poor, we're always here, awaiting the right moment to raise the pants that cheer. Like the hearts of poets, waiting to be awoken, my Che Guevara underpants are far more than a token. Yeah. Okay. Good to see the peace talks between Palestine and Israel have started again. This next poem is dedicated to someone who sacrificed her life to try and help to bring peace to that region. A young American woman called Rachel Corrie. She joined the International Solidarity Movement, went to Gaza, and while she was standing outside a Palestinian home trying to prevent it from being demolished, she was run over and killed by an Israeli bulldozer. And this is Rachel Corrie. She could be anybody's sister, anybody's daughter, anybody's friend. For Rachel Corrie. Because you were just 23 and brilliantly unafraid, I loved you. Because you loved Palestine and I love Palestine, I loved you. Because you wrote quirky poetry about Dairy Queen and I'm not familiar with that scene, I loved you. Because you stood between the bulldozers and the homes of the poor, I loved you. Because you accepted people and they accepted you, I loved you. Because you lived among those whose lives and welfare were completely strangled, I loved you. Because you spoke up for them, sacrificed your life for them, I loved you. Because when you were 10, you dreamed to stop hunger by the year 2000, I loved you. Because you looked into the future and saw the light that shines, I loved you. Because you believed we're all the same inside, I loved you. Because you looked at the wide world and went to it, I loved you. Because you worried you would have nightmares on your return from Palestine and feel guilty for not being there, I loved you. Because you were as rare as a Monday morning, when everyone dances on their way to work. Thank you very much. This is my final poem in this first set, and this book will be available at the interval, and the book's always setting up outside with other books and CDs from the poets you'll hear. So I thought I'd leave you with a poem with a bit of bite to it. It's called Biscuit Girl from Amsterdam, and I was on a flight coming home from Amsterdam, and the young Dutch girl next to me offered me a biscuit. "Would you like a biscuit?" said the girl sitting next to me on the plane from Amsterdam. Her teeth so white, I think she must eat only apples. I appreciatively take one, crunch away. They are like our English biscuit, the hobnob, I say. Her eyes widen. The hobnob? Those white teeth again, as she seriously digests this important information. "We call them country cookies," she says at last. Isn't that funny, I think? Hobnob sounds much Dutcher than country cookies. She is on her way to Nepal, where neither hobnobs nor country cookies can easily be found. Instead, she will digest the thrill of exploring fresh lands, a world experienced through young senses, opening like a giant lotus hobnob in any flavour you like.